So welcome to my allotment. It's the beginning of May. It's a really exciting time because there's lots and lots of jobs you can be doing. I'll be going through the jobs that you could be doing and also the jobs that I'm doing at the moment. So if you've not already subscribed to my channel, if you could please do so, because you'll get lots of helpful hints and tips all throughout the year from my home garden, my allotment and also my home kitchen. It's a fabulous day up here today. Really, it's been really bright and sunny. We've got lots and lots of jobs done. In particular, we've done quite a lot of weeding, so you'll probably find that you're going to have quite a lot of weeds. That's one thing you can guarantee will grow, will be the weeds. So all around our rhubarb, we've pulled up lots of the nettles that we had, and all around the artichokes again. We'd already weeded once already, but again there were loads already, so we've tidied that up. As you can see, we've got a great big pile of weeds up there, so we've definitely been busy on the weeding front. So another job you can be doing is digging. Now I haven't done a lot of digging today, only because it's been incredibly dry in May for us. I don't know what it's been like for you where you are across the country or across the world. Please do let me know, but I tried to put my fork into the ground and it just wasn't having it. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a week or two. Fingers crossed we'll get some rain. It will make life a heck of a lot easier. So if you're in the same situation as me, I would hang off for a little bit and hopefully we'll get a little bit of rain and it will be much more pleasant to be digging in that. But what you can be doing is you can just hoe the weeds off. So if you can't dig them out, then just get a hoe out and just gently knock the tops off, and that will obviously just slow them down. And as it's been quite sunny, if you hoe on a sunny day, the weeds get burnt off on the top of the soil, and that saves you a job if you don't pick them all up. So another job you can be doing, if we move down and we can take a look at my potatoes. So as we walk down, I've got a selection of potatoes down here. So some first earlies, second earlies and main crop. So if I remember correctly, I've got Charlotte, Kestrel and Picasso is my recollection of what I've planted. Now as you can see, they've just started to peep through the potatoes, so that's really promising. That the potatoes are well on their way. So now's the time, once you start seeing the tops coming through, you can start earthing them up. It's really, really important that you earth them up, because if you get any surface potatoes, they could go green and you can't eat them when they're green. And also encourages the tubers to swell out more. So that's a job I will be doing. So another job you can be doing is you can start to plant out some of your plants if you think it's frost free, so things like your runner beans or French beans and brassicas. But do be really, really mindful of where you are in the country and whether you're going to get a frost, and if you do plant them out, make sure you cover them. I've not put mine out yet, I'm still not brave enough, but at some point in May I will be brave enough and I will be getting mine out. So if you've already put yours out, or you have a plan of what you do when you put yours out, I'd really love to hear what you're doing. So the other thing to be looking out for is pests. There are a few pests around, you know, snails and black fly and what have you. So just make sure your tender plants are okay. In particular, sometimes the fruit trees can get attacked by certain kinds of aphids and pests. So do keep a real watchful eye out on that. Something else you can be thinking about or starting to do is you can start to put your supports up for some of your plants. So at some point this month I will be getting my supports up for my French and my runner beans, and if I decide to put some more peas out, then I'll be putting some supports out for that. It's far better to get it out ready and prepped rather than leave it to the last minute while they all start to flop everywhere, and then you end up creating a bit more work for yourself, or you might lose some of your tender plants because you've not looked after them very well. So something else you can be doing this month, if you've not already done so, is you can start sowing things like carrots, beetroot, lettuce, chard, parsnips, that sort of thing, and they can be sown direct into the ground. It's warm enough for that now. If you've already sown some of those things and they are coming out a little bit thick, so there's too many of them, you can also start thinning them out now. Now's a really good time to start thinning those seedlings out if you've sown them and they've already come through. I'd love to know what you've sown already. Personally, I wait until May, until now, before I sow things, because it's just too cold up at the allotment and too open. Stuff doesn't germinate if I sow it any earlier. If I sowed it at home it would be okay because it's more sheltered, but up at the allotment it's too open, so I always wait until May, and the stuff just germinates far more effectively in May and June. There are other things you can be starting off, but those are things I'm starting off at home and under cover. So I've started off recently my squashes, courgettes, pumpkins and cucumbers. So I start off in my propagator and I nurture them on until they're a decent size, and I'm really mindful of when I plant them on my allotment because they are incredibly susceptible to the frost, and the last thing I'd want to do is to start my plants off and then lose them all. So again, if you're growing any plants under cover, I'd love to know what you're growing and the varieties that you are growing. Something I'm seeing people talk about a lot is they're overwintering onions and they're overwintering garlic, and people are getting really tempted to start digging it up. It's by no means ready now. You do have to wait much longer. It's going to be around June time before those things are going to be ready. They trick you because my garlic, the stems are really quite thick now, and you could be conned into thinking that the bulbs underneath will be bigger, but experience tells me they're not going to be ready yet. They even start to get a little bit discoloured this time of year, but unfortunately that's often a little bit of rust that's doing that and not the fact that the plant's maturing. So please don't dig your garlic or your overwintering onions up yet. I'll be showing you when I'm digging mine up, and that's when yours will most likely be ready as well. Now I do hope that my video has helped you, inspired you. I'd love to hear what you're doing. If you've got any questions or comments, please do put them in there and we'll do our best to answer them. The more you like, share and comment my videos, the more fabulous people get to see these, and the more people we can help grow their own fruit and vegetables and live a better life.